What's up there, misfits? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Long time no see. Glad to be back. Thank you to those of you who had the patience and stuck around while I took that mini staycation for me. All right, I do appreciate y'all. I do. So, this is your zodiac season guide for Leo season. This reading is for cardinal signs. If you're not sure what a cardinal sign is and where you fit in that, go ahead and check the description box. I do lay that out for you there. Okay. And just as a little heads up, as it seems, duality is always in play. As those of you who've been following me for a couple of years know, you usually don't hear from me in Capricorn season. And the really funny thing about that is that I didn't realize, or I should say I hadn't quite comprehended the connection between me taking a break in Cancer season and then taking a break turnaround in Capricorn season. They're the polarities of each other, so that kind of makes sense. So in any case, consider this your heads up that I will not be around on the channel in November either. Okay, the channel will be quiet. So I will try to do just a general collective reading, just so you guys have something, because there is still the things that come up during the times that I am not actively posting on the channel. But if for some reason that doesn't happen, make sure you check out my website. That's at poacreator.com, because I am active over there. I do post at least once a month the messages that I'm getting, as well as any collective messages that I get. So there's that. All right, let's get in on this. It's interesting because my throat was absolutely fine until I picked up the cards to start pre-shuffling for your reading. So some of y'all might be having some communication issues right now. Or you've got either basically your throat chakra might be a little unbalanced, whether that's over or underactive. So go ahead and check into that. Do one of those Google NATO searches, as I like to call it, and see where you fit on that. Okay, if that's something that you are personally being affected by right now. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to get you all shuffled up, get your cards on the board. You'll probably see a montage of something in the corner because nothing's just flying out yet. So there we go. Okay. So mutable signs. That was interesting. And it was all looking relatively good right until we got to the end. So this should be interesting. Bottom of the deck, you've got the Six of Swords. So some of you are moving on from something. Okay. We could be talking about a person. Wow. Okay, yeah, we definitely could be talking about a person It's even interesting that I mentioned that dualistic energy about Cancer and Capricorn season for me, because you've got some dualism right here in your reading. You've got the Lovers and you've got the Devil, and they are quite literally two sides of the same coin as far as it's concerned in tarot. Okay. Um wow, that's very interesting. Okay, so you're starting off with the Queen of Wands, followed by the Lovers, Four of Wands. Okay, so we're talking about love and partnerships. Death, the end of something. Okay, Six of Wands, followed by Judgment. And then, of course, at the very end, we've got the Devil and Seven of Swords together. Which, I gotta keep it real with you mutable signs, that is not a combination I like to see in the slightest. I mean, neither of these cards are super awesome on their own, but together it's pretty bad. Okay, so wow, I'm let's look at your theme before I even continue. Wow. Okay, so the theme is love. What did I say? I said love and partnerships. That's hilarious. Okay. And then the number 6. Again. Wow. Give me just a second with this one. Okay, so what I'm picking up from this mutable sign, and I gotta say, at least the way that I'm seeing this right now, makes me a little irritated with some of you. Because it would seem very clearly that there is a particular person identified here by the Queen of Wands as an energy that you have deep feelings for. Okay? But there is a choice to be made as to whether or not you want victory with this person. Now, what I'm seeing is that there's some degree of this indecision and focus on self, believe it or not, with the Four of Wands, focus on self, that may actually end up leading to the dissolution of this situation. And it won't be a dissolution by your hands. This will be divine intervention stepping in here with Judgment. All right. It's almost like, man, I'm getting a couple different things. So with the Judgment card over here and that being next to the Devil and the Seven of Swords, on a more positive spin, you could look at this as someone who has gained victory over either someone who embodies the Devil and the Seven of Swords, or you embodying that energy of the Devil and the Seven of Swords, which to me, the combination of these cards is someone who is very, very, very manipulative. Like, this is not a good person, okay? I've actually gotten this combination before when asking, about someone, whether or not I, should get involved with someone, and I swear to God, it was this exact same combination. It's just toxic all the way around. This is someone who you have to watch everything that comes out of their mouth because they will twist everything. Like, I actually think that would be considered somewhere in the realm of, like, some type of narcissistic patterning of this person, or of this energy is what I'm seeing here. Narcissistic energy, okay? Again, that's super clinical. I do not have that background, but that's the energy signature of what I'm seeing here at the end, okay? Like I said, on the positive twist, we could be talking about someone who has overcome this energy, whether in themselves or in dealing with someone else, and they've gained victory over that. So Judgment was passed over that behavior and what's been done to amend that behavior, and there's victory over it, which is leading to a death of an old cycle, because you or this person might have been that in that cycle. However, given okay, now my throat is really, really getting to me. Wow. Okay. Given that, more of the cards in this reading are actually quite positive, I'd be willing to lean on victory over this behavior. However, and then there's the warning that comes with that. When someone shows themselves to you, believe them. I feel like that's probably the biggest message, excuse me, of this reading, is that when someone shows themselves to you, believe them. Now, there's definitely love here, but there's also an ending to something. But that ending brings you victory. Okay? So, let's bust out the clarifiers, because this could go a couple of different ways. It seems pretty clear to me that confirmation, for some of you, this might be a choice between a person that you deeply care for and yourself. It's like, do you love this person more than you care about yourself, more than you love yourself? The answer should always be no. Okay? The answer should always be no to that question. But for some of you, that may not necessarily be the case. Hence the reason you're being presented with judgment, you know, coming in from the universe. Okay? What's really interesting about the Four of Wands in this particular deck is that the person who is standing in this portal, okay, it's only one person. Normally the way you see the Four of Wands portrayed, it's two people stepping through the portal, and in this it's only one. So it is feeling like, I think probably for more of you out there, that this is like a romantic partnership that started off, actually I can't even say that it necessarily started off good, because I'm not getting that here. But what I'm seeing is that the ending or something about it has been very, very toxic for you, okay? And you've been trying to figure out a way to remove yourself from this energy. And that's kind of the tipping point for you over this Leo season, is actually making the point to remove yourself from that energy, because you won't gain victory over this behavior, whether that's the acceptance of this behavior or enacting this behavior of the Devil and the Seven of Swords, unless you do that. You have to separate yourself from this, okay? And that way judgment can come through. However those cookies are supposed to crumble. Alright, so let's look at, I usually don't like to go, all roads lead to the Devil and the Seven of Swords in this reading. I'm sorry, like, that's just the way it keeps coming up. Because I'm also getting, like, you know, along with, you know, death being ending, at the end of the day, it's really just transformation. Death is not death, right? So, you know, it's a transformation of this situation that leads to victory, but at the end of the day, judgment is still called, and because this toxic behavior was there, question mark. That's how I keep coming back to this particular reading. So let's start off clarifying the lovers and try to get a better understanding of what the choice is that's at play. All right, so that's interesting. This card keeps coming up. I feel like this card has come up several times this year already for these zodiac season guide readings. I know it came up for cardinal signs in their reading as well. Wow, some of you are very like, you need to settle your energy. Let me put it that way. Y'all need to settle your energy, because this is this is very interesting. Okay. So, I tend to view this particular card with our green antler dude as someone who's making a sacrifice. Like a sacrifice for knowledge. Okay? Hold on. Okay. So, it's like watering the seeds of knowledge that you gain through the blood that is spilled from, you know, missteps. I don't want to say mistakes. They're not really mistakes unless you didn't learn something from it. So we'll say missteps, okay? But it's like the knowledge that you've gained. It's really strange, but it's like the currency is blood. That's what it feels like. This is a really, really odd reading. Yeah. Some of you are all plugged up, if that makes sense. You may need to have some energy work done, especially on your head, is what I'm feeling. I mean, even though the chakras are all lit up here, the energy that I'm actually getting from this card right now is someone who is like a pressure cooker, if that makes sense, okay? Hold that thought for a second. Okay, so this is kind of twisted. Like, this is kind of twisted. It's like I see someone feeling like they need to choose between a romantic interest and their child. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. That's not a choice. Alright? And if you're romantically involved with someone who's trying to make you choose between your child and them, fuck them. Okay? Like, that's kind of a no-brainer. So like I said, this is a strange reading. Yeah, some of you are a pressure cooker and you need to find a way to release, okay? For others of you, this could be symbolic of a child that's waiting to come in, okay? You know, we've got our little greenhorn dude planting an acorn with the squirrel being the guardian, if you will. Yeah, with the hummingbird here. For some of you, this could be a child coming in. A child coming in to replace the one you've lost. For some of you, that's what's going on, okay? For others of you, there's something about this child that's going to help you to get yourself into alignment. This is strange. I'm going to move on. Yeah, we're going to look at all of this over here. Wow. Okay, mutable signs. There's, for some of you, the reason that this love partnership issue is even coming into play is because there is a complete disconnection between your mind, body, emotion, and intellect. Literally. Complete disconnection between these two, which tells me that your masculine and feminine natures are not balanced. So for some of you, the whole reason this Queen of Wands energy might even be in your life is because they're here to help lead you out of this toxic energy of the devil and the Seven of Swords. Okay? Yeah. This Queen of Wands energy is here to help you transmute this. That's exactly what's going on. Okay, now I can understand why this was so creepy. Because this got a little weird. This one got a little weird. But there's a disconnection for some of you. You're not connected to your body. You're not connected to your emotions. As a result, you're not using your intellect to the capacity that you could be. Which is leading your mind to be clouded, and that's clouding everything else that's going on, especially when it's comes down to love. Now, whether the love confirmation that you've got for this person, regardless to whether it's platonic or romantic, this Queen of Wands energy is very prominent. It's interesting in and of itself. Like, I see really only Gemini energy in this, but yeah, Scorpio. Yeah, I'm not. Zodiac signs are not coming out super prominent for this particular reading, even though obviously there's certain representatives for each of these cards. And additionally, I don't see you. I don't really see your energy, mutable signs, outside of this kind of dualistic thing that's going on for some of y'all. At the end of the day, there's just a huge disconnection, and because mutables can be, you kind of go with the flow and go with where the air or the water or whatever takes you. I feel like this is something that needs to get in balance. Too many of you need an outlet. Okay, you need an outlet. Let me just leave it there and move on. So the message that Spirit has for you for Leo season is afterglow. Land gracefully. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's saying to take a leap. Huh. There's something that you guys need to go cliff diving on, is what it comes down to in regards to this energy and or this person. That's going to lead to the transformation that you're seeking. Okay. It it's weird. It's like many of you are probably okay, I'm just gonna say it. I feel like many of you might even be in love with whoever this Queen of Wands represents, but you don't even recognize that because you're so completely disconnected. And that's the issue. That's the entire issue that's coming up for you. And it's that disconnection that exacerbates this Devil Seven of Swords energy. Now, I'm gonna move on. It's like beating a dead horse. Okay. So the soul lesson Spirit's got for you. You ended up with 2 cards. So the one that flipped over on its own is balance. And now I understand why. After looking at everything that has come out, it says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. There's judgment again. All right. So for some of you, the lesson in this and transmuting this energy is learning to have a little bit of compassion for yourself. Okay. The fact that you allowed yourself to marinate in that energy. Okay, and didn't recognize at the time that you were in low vibrational energy. When it came to this person, that's what it feels like. Yeah, you have to have compassion for yourself. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot more difficult to transmute that energy. Transmuting energy requires balance. Okay, it requires awareness, self-awareness being the key of that. Okay, and it's hard to be self-aware when you're talking smack to yourself about yourself. Okay, so the last card I've got for you is it's perseverance. It says, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to, which is very true. Mutable signs, that's very true. So I feel like the whole reading, again, it's telling you to get balance, get reconnected so that you can fully comprehend what love feels like. Because I think for some of you, this may have been twisted at some point in your life and you don't actually know what genuine love feels like. And that makes me really sad. So in order to transmute this programming, you have to work at connecting. You have to work at allowing yourself to be balanced, and you have to continue to pursue this and persevere through it. That's one of the things that I can say for absolute certainty is that when you are on a path for self-growth and transformation because you want to change, your behaviors, and elevate yourself, everything comes out the woodwork to try to prevent you from doing that. Call it, the universe testing you, call it spiritual warfare, call it whatever you want. But it's a very, very common occurrence. So it does take a certain amount of perseverance to stick to those goals on that path of spiritual development and growth. It is not easy. I know there's a lot of people out there that make it look easy, but growth is messy. It is messy as hell. I talk about that a little bit for the channel message for the month of August on the website. Go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But, yeah. Take a leap. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to connect. And that's going to help lead to this transformation. That's what's going to help lead to the balance that you're seeking. Okay, we're going to call it here. Mutable signs, I hope that this reading helped. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So I will see you next time. Your peace is your power, dude. Bye.